Welcome to another episode of my. Actually, this is a kind of a new show. I think I'm going to just make this show my night episode at night, late at night. It's just going to be called The Pretzel Show. And it's dedicated to my cousin who. You can see it's called The Pretzel Show because some of the stuff that my cousin, I have a particular cousin, keeps telling me stuff that the only way you can believe it is you got to twist yourself into a pretzel. And so, Helene, and and so let's play some of his messages today. Let's play one of his messages.
يعني أنت مغلبتك هذه الآية في قوله تعالى فإن الله هو الغني الحميد. في قراءات إن هو مش موجودة في الآية بس لا تخل بمعنى الآية، بتظل الآية نفسها بتغيرش. أي حرف ينقص من الآية أو بزيد من الآية في قراءة تختلف عن الثانية لا يعني وتبقى الآية بنفس المعنى بيأثرش. بس إذا بدك تزيد حرف وتخربط الآية وتصير الآية لها معنى ثاني ما بزبطش. يعني لازم نقصان أو زيادة الحرف ما يغيرش من معنى الآية. طالما ما غيرش من معنى الآية جائز القراءة به عشان في 7 أحرف موجودة هذه ما حداش بيقدر ينكرها يا لوح.
Okay. I want to ask you a question. When I was in school, I was taught, and if you want to tell me that I'm wrong, ahlan wasahlan bikum, come and tell me that I'm wrong. But this is what I was taught. And I found something that shows what I was taught. This is what I was taught. See if this isn't what you were taught. It is the miracle of the Quran that no change has occurred in a single word, a single letter of the alphabet, a single punctuation mark, or a single diacritical mark in the text of the Quran during the last 14 centuries. Yani for the last 1,400 years, the Quran let's look at this again. It's a miracle of the Quran that no change has occurred in a single word, letter of the alphabet, punctuation mark, diacritical mark in the text of the Quran during the last 14 centuries. And the only reason I bring this up is because this is what I was taught. This is what I was taught. Is this not what you were taught? You know, isn't this what you were taught? And, here's let's hear what Zakir Naik says.
So Prophet personally verified when he was alive, whatever was written down of the Quran, whether it was perfect or not.
Okay. Let's look at the
question was, do Muslims also have different versions of the Quran? We have no different versions. So we have no different versions of the Quran. The Arabic Quran universally is the same. No difference between one part of the world and another.
Okay. This is what I was taught. Is that there is one Quran and it is the same universally. Universally. If it's in Morocco and Indonesia and India and America and Germany, it's universally the same. Just like Ahmad Didat said. Listen to what he said.
The question was, do Muslims also have different versions of the Quran? We have no different versions. So we have no different versions of the Quran. The Arabic Quran universally is the same. No difference between one part of the world and another.
Okay, so I've already shown you, and I'm not going to do it again tonight because I'm a little bit tired, different versions of the Quran. I showed you I have the Hafs and the Warsh Quran. I've also have, and I'll bring him tomorrow, I'll try to bring him tomorrow, I have the Hafs, the Warsh, the Susi, the Duri, the Khalaf, the Jalalain, and I have all of these. And so I'll bring them tomorrow and I'll show them to you. And they are different from each other. Now, Ahmed Deedat said there is no difference between them. There's no difference between them. But if you look at the verses, you'll see that one of Humma Abad ar-Rahman, this was the big issue yesterday with my cousin. But when you put the dot on top, it becomes Humma Ind ar-Rahman. And my cousin said that there's no difference between. If there's no difference, you really are twisted into a pretzel. How could there be no difference between Abad and Ind? How is it possible that there's no difference between Abad and Ind? And today, if you listen to the messages,
وهذه يا لوح متفق عليها عشان في قراءات وأحرف 7 ومتفق عليها إنها نزلت على 7 أحرف. القرآن نزل على 7 أحرف، فهي إنها موجودة، هذه متفق عليها، ما حداش بينكرها يعني.
Okay, he says ما حدا بينكرها. Nobody denies it. They're all agreed upon. But listen to what Ahmed Deedat said.
The question was, do Muslims also have different versions of the Quran? We have no different versions. So we have no different versions of the Quran. The Arabic Quran universally is the same. No difference between one part of the world and another.
Okay, so that's what Ahmed Deedat said. Let me show you another. This is another quote about the Quran that I wanted to show you. Let me just go ahead and go. Sorry, I'm taking a little bit too long here. But, I just want to read this to you again. Let me go ahead and Humma Abad ar-Rahman. Okay. Okay. Humma Abad ar-Rahman. Humma Ind ar-Rahman. Now, let me go ahead and, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble here. I just want to focus on the, oops, dude, excuse me. So, it is the miracle of the Quran that no change has occurred in a single letter of the alphabet, a single punctuation mark, a single diacritical mark in the text of the Quran during the last 14 centuries. Now, see, this is what I was taught. That's what I was taught. Adam, the reason I'm using a pretzel, Adam, is because they tell me that it's the same word. Abad and Ind mean the same thing. That it's the same word and there's very little difference. And I'm thinking, how does it do that? You got to twist yourself into a pretzel. And so that's why I'm calling it the Pretzel Show, to show, some of the, let me show you. Let's play some more of my cousin's messages.
يا زلمة مخك اللي تويستد، مش البريتسلز هذه، مخك اللي تويستد عن جد، مش فاهم إشي أنت. طب هي هذه اللي في حفظ منين جت؟ من القراءات والأحرف 7، واللي في ورش منين جت؟ شو عرفنا فيها إحنا؟ عشان هذا وردت في القراءات موجودة، والقرآن نزل على 7 أحرف، فجبريل عليه السلام أقرأها جبريل عليه السلام أقرأها لسيدنا محمد على أحرف 7. فهذه موجودة يا شيخ. بس أنت ليش مش قادر تشغل مخك ولا تفتح مخك؟ يا إما إنك عن جد يعني بدك تحاول تلاقي زي ما تقول إشي غلط ومش عارف كيف. you're desperate مش لاقي إشي، مش طالع بيدك ولا اللي يطلع بيدك. تعرف وربنا تحدى العالم، ولا يطلع بيدك ولا بيطلع في طيزك يا زلمة. طلعش في يدك انك تلاقي شيء. ما هو قال لنا ان القرآن نزل على 7 أحرف، فمحتمل انها تكون عبد ومحتمل انها تكون عند. وقلنا لك يا لوح.
Okay, you guys, you heard what he says. If you heard in Arabic, he says that the Quran came in 7 letters, and it may be abd, it may be and. We're back to this situation over here. Abd and and. Now I'm asking all you Muslims, I'm asking you sincere Muslims, do you really believe that abd and and are the same word? Are these the same word? The Hafs says abd, the abad, the Warsh says and. And the reason one is because the diacritical marks النقطة كان تحت ولا النقطة كان فوق. إذا فوق بتصير عند، إذا تحت بتصير عباد. هذول كلمتين زي بعض؟ هل هذول الكلمتين زي بعض؟ Are these 2 words the same? To say they're the same is to twist yourself into a pretzel. That's why I'm calling this the pretzel show. خلينا نشوف شو بيقول أحمد ديدات.
The question was, do Muslims also have different versions of the Quran? We have no different versions. So we have no different versions of the Quran. The Arabic Quran universally is the same. No difference between one part of the world and another.
Okay, let's talk about another. There's another message. So he says, universally, the Arabic Quran is the same. Universally, the Arabic Quran is the same. I want to play another one of the messages by my cousin, and because he speaks about the word naghfir. And so let me see. I hope it doesn't take me too long to find it, but let me see if I can.
رجعنا لك يا لوح أخرى مرة، بنظل نفهم فيك، بس تعرف يعني I find out أنت مش كذاب، بس لوح عن جد لوح مسكر، بتعرفش شيء والله. يعني لا باكي مسلم ولا باكي مسيح، أظنك بتعرفش شيء.
Okay, I just want to tell you, for those who don't understand, he says that I've been upgraded. He says I'm not a liar. He says I'm not a liar, but I am a loh. So I'm an idiot, but I'm not a liar. So I've been upgraded from a loh ukidab to just a loh. Shukran ya bin ammi. So, but anyway, let's listen to what he says, because he says something about this naghfir.
مسكر لوح يعني شغلات بسيطة بتفهمهاش. يعني أظنك باكي مش شاطر في المدرسة ولا باكي ما تروحش على المدرسة، بس الأمانة إنك لوح. يعني أنت كان بتقول ربنا بيكون نغفر، بيقول على الحالة نغفر وهو واحد، وليش بيقول بصيغة الجمع؟ هذه لغة العرب للتعظيم. عارف كيف؟ زي ما واحد يبعث رسالة بيكون نحن وزير كذا رئيس كذا نطالب، للتعظيم. فربنا بيعظم في نفسه. والعرب لما تسوي إشي منيح.
I don't know if you're still with me, Adam, and I don't know if you understood what he said, but it's what you spoke about on your program today. So if you can come on, he says that when the Quran says nahnu, it's lughat al-ta'zim, which means that's like the majesty. That's why it says plural. There's the plural because he says the plural we is the majesty of the king says that about himself. And I know you talked about that in your show today. If you can't come on, I understand, because it's very late where you are. If you can't come on, that's okay. But if you would like to come on to comment, because he just spoke about that, and I know you spoke about that in your program today. And so because he says, let me play it for you again. play it for you again, specifically about this subject.
بتخاطب نفسها بنحن. عارف كيف؟ هذه لغة العرب، والعرب بيفهموها الشيء هذا. بس هذا الدليل انك بتعرفش، يعني عن جد لوح مسكر، لوح 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 لوح، بس مش كذاب.
Thank you. مش كذاب يعني كويس، أنا مش كذاب.
It does mean the same يا لوح. نغفر ويغفر. هو أنو اللي بيغفر؟ هو الله.
Okay. أنا هيك بدي أسأل المسلمين. I want to ask the Muslims. My cousin says, because in the Hafs it says naghfir, we give mercy, but in the Warsh it says yaghfir, he gives mercy. In the Hafs it says naghfir, in the Warsh it says yaghfir. And I'm asking Muslims, is there any Muslim who says these words are the same? Is there any Muslim who will say that these words, naghfir wa yaghfir, that they are the same? Is anybody going to tell me that these two words are the same? One is in the Hafs, one is in the Wash. Naghfir means we give mercy. Yaghfir means he gives mercy. But my cousin says these two words are the same. You know what? You know what? This is a pretzel situation. This is a pretzel situation. When you think naghfiru and yaghfiru is the same word, we are very much into a pretzel situation. And let's hear it again.
فنغفر هو بحكيها بصيغة الجمع. قلت لك هذا للتعظيم، ربنا بيعظم نفسه للتعظيم. ويغفر هو يغفر. وبرجع بقول لك عشانك لوح في اللغة، واليوم أثبت لي إنك فعلا لوح تفهمش في اللغة والله. يعني بتعرف ولد صغير من الصف الأول بصير يضحك عليك لما تفسر في الآيات.
He's saying something there too. He's saying that a boy in the first grade would laugh at me for the way I present these verses and stuff. And he says that naghfir and yaghfir are the same. Is there any Muslim who can tell me that these two words are the same? Naghfiru, yaghfir. The Quran, it says about the Quran, it is a miracle that not a single word, a single letter of the alphabet, punctuation mark, diacritical mark in the text of the Quran has changed during the last 14th century. This is what I was taught. This is what I was taught. If you're a Muslim, this is what you were taught. And yet, there's these differences between the Hafs and the Warsh, and there are an accredited 1,300 differences between the Hafs and the Warsh. So I'm showing you two. I'm just showing you two words. Naghfuru, yaghfir. I could be here for the next 3 years, every day show you another difference. For the next 3 years, every night, come here and show you differences between the Hafs and the Warsh. But we got so many more Qur'ans. There's not just the Hafs and the Warsh. There's the Susi, Duri, Kalun, Khalaf, Bazi, all of these, and there's at least 37 Qur'ans. Over 90,000 differences between them. And yet, my cousin says that these are the same words. And, you know, to do that, we get into what's called the pretzel situation. Because you got to twist yourself into a pretzel to think that naghfiru and yaghfiru are the same word. To say that naghfir and yaghfiru is the same word, you have to twist yourself into a pretzel. And that's why this is called the pretzel show. Let's hear what Ahmed Deedat said again.
The question was, do Muslims also have different versions of the Quran? We have no different versions. So we have no different versions of the Quran. The Arabic Quran universally is the same. No difference between one part of the world and another.
Okay, so Ahmed Deedat says that there's not these different. He says it's universally the same all over the world. So is yaghfir the same as naghfir? Let's look at some more. Humma abad ar-Rahman, humma and ar-Rahman. Are these the same? Now, some people are going to say this is the same, but to do that, you have to twist yourself into a pretzel. If you think abad is the same as ind, who thinks those are the same word? Who out there thinks that those are the same words? In the Hafs, it's abad. In the Warsh, it's humma ind rahman. Who thinks the meaning is the same there? Let's listen to what my cousin says.
بتعرفش لوح يعني انت مش يعني اذا انت ما بتعرفش مش شرط انك تقعد تخرف انت اذا بدك تسوي تحكي وتخرف وتسوي فيديو احكي في اللي بتعرف فيه، اللي بتعرفش فيه تقول بعرفش، بهمش فيش فيها عيب تقول بعرفش، بس انك تقعد تتهم وتقول يعني ايه يا زلمه اثبت لكل الناس انك لوح زينكو. انت بتقول يا حسين can anybody tell me I'm wrong about عباد ولا عند ولا عبد. You are absolutely wrong. قلت لك اياها many times. This is not the first time you are wrong.
Okay, he's telling me that I'm wrong. He's telling me that I'm wrong. And what I said is that that abad is not the same as ind. That's what I'm saying. Abad is not the same as ind. I'm saying naghfir is not the same as yaghfir. That's what I'm saying, because one Quran says naghfir, al-Hafs says naghfir, al-Warsh says yaghfir. Al-Hafs says humma abad ar-Rahman, and the Warsh says humma ind ar-Rahman. And I'm saying these aren't the same. Mish nafs al-ishi. بيختلفوا عن بعض. That's what I'm saying. But I was taught, like you were taught, I was taught that there's no change in the Quran. The Quran is perfectly preserved. Nobody can change it. Not one letter, not one verse, not one. The meaning is always the same. The words are the same. The dots are everything is the same. That's what I was taught, that it was perfect. But now I find there's all these different with different words and different meanings. Now my cousin says that they're the same. Do you think they're the same? Or do you think maybe we've been lied to? And I'm not going to do it today, but my cousin also sent me a video. And in the video, it says the 7 ahruf and the 10 qira'at. The 7 ahruf and the 10 qira'at. That means there's still another 17 Qur'ans. And you say, well, these aren't Qur'ans, they're ahruf and qira'at. They are different Qur'ans. It's like, if I took this and I told you this is a pretzel, and I told you, and this is not a pretzel. This is a pretzel, but this is not a pretzel. This is a pretzel, but this is just salty bread. This is a pretzel and this is salty bread, but this is not a pretzel. This is salty bread, but this is not a pretzel. Does that mean that it's not a pretzel? No, it's still a pretzel. And so we got two pretzels, and you got to twist yourself into pretzels in order to go along with the logic of this. You see, and they're saying that when you got sab'a ahruf, 10 qira'at, that's 17 Qur'ans, and you say, but they're not Qur'ans. They're this one is called ahruf, and this one is called qira'at. They're not Qur'ans. You see, to do that, you got to twist yourself into a pretzel. And that's why this is called the pretzel show. I can't eat any more pretzels. I'm full of pretzels. But anyway, I just want to tell you, this is the pretzel show. I'm responding to my cousin. Let me play some more of his videos, some more of his messages.
Wrong. عشانك بتعرفش انت في اللغة. هذه لغة القرآن وفصاحته، عارف كيف؟ بس if you go a little bit more deep, go على جوجل وشوف الآيات هذه شو معناها انت لحالك فيش داعي حد يقول لك انك لوح ولا انك بتفهمش، انت بتلاقيها لحالك بس اذا بتستوعب وبتعرف تفهم. وهذه الآية بقت مخصصة، هي مخصوصة للملائكة. ان الملائكة في ناس قالوا هم إناث عند الله، اوكي، وفي ناس كانوا عباد عند الله. فالآية جت مشان الاثنين انهم عباد وعند الله، يعني مش اناث. عارف كيف؟ بس شو بفهمك، بس انت اذا في جو ديب واسباب النزول وشو معنى الآية بتفهم. بس انت بدك حد واحد يقول لك لوح و60 لوح.
Okay, he's saying here that these they mean the same thing. That I'm a loh. You know what? If you're listening, I just want to tell you something. I just want to tell you something. You were also taught, because I talk to Muslims all the time. I love Muslims. I love Muslims. I love Muslims. I always talk to Muslims, and I go and I try to tell them about Jesus. They always say there's only one Quran. They always say there's only one Quran. They always, always, always say there's only one Quran. But you know what? Lately, because there's so much information on the internet, they know that there are many Qur'ans. There are many Qur'ans. كثير قرآنات موجود. You know, let me just show you this video that my cousin sent for me. Let me show you this video that my cousin sent for me today. He sent me this video, and this is a Muslim video. This is a Muslim video. This is a Muslim video. And let me see. Okay. On this video, let me see if I got it out here. Oh, you know what? I don't have it right here, but I do have it on my phone. I could show it to you. You know, this video that my cousin sent me is it's an amazing video, and I listened to it, and I'm going to respond to it. I'm going to respond to it, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy that he sent it to me, and I want to show it to you because I thought it was very, very amazing that he sent me this video. And okay, let me show it to you right here. I can show it to you right here. Let's see if I can. If it's on my phone, but it's a little bit hard to see. Can you see that? Let me go ahead and close all of these other ones so I can show it to you better, so you can see it. Okay. Now let me just show you this. Can you see this? It's a little bit hard to see. This is a Muslim video. This is a Muslim video. How are there different Qur'ans? How are there different Qur'ans? And this video, I'm going to respond to it, okay? I'm going to respond to this video, okay? I'm going to respond to this video. But this video says, and look what it says here. Look, can you read what's underneath it there? The 7 ahruf and 10 qira'at of the Quran explained. The 7 ahruf and 10 qira'at of the Quran explained. Now what that means is that there are 7 more Qur'ans and there's 10 more Qur'ans. That means there's 17 Qur'ans. And he's going to explain to you whether, and let me tell you, the reason he's going to do it is there's so much information on the internet, they can't hide it anymore. It's been hidden from people before, but it can't be hidden anymore. Because it can't be hidden, they're going to show it to you. And they're going to explain to you, they're going to come up with all these explanations about it. And they're going to explain it to you because they can't hide it anymore. They've been hiding it. They've been hiding it for a long time and telling you, like they told me, that there is only one Quran. Like they've said for years, like I was taught in school, that there's only one Quran. But now they can't hide it anymore, that there is not just one Quran. There are many Qurans. And so they're going to explain to you. That's why they're explaining. And you're going to, let me just tell you, you're going to be hearing this a lot more. Let me just tell you, you're going to hear it a lot more. Why? Because they can't hide it anymore. And I just want to tell you, if they lied to us about this, what else did they lie to us about? Let me just play for you this video. And I've played it before, but this video really, this is one of the most famous sheikhs in America. This is one of the most famous sheikhs in America. Listen to what he says.
Every single student of knowledge knows, who studies Ulum al-Quran, that the most difficult topics are ahruf and qira'at, and the concept of ahruf and the reality of ahruf, and the relationship of the Uthmanic Mus'haf with the ahruf, and the preservation of the ahruf. Is it 1, is it 3, is it 7? And the relationship of the qira'at to the ahruf. This is a topic that when you're the beginning student of knowledge, you're like, what is all of this going on here? When you go a little bit more, you learn to simply memorize what your teachers say and regurgitate it out, and you don't fully comprehend. When you do a deep dive is when things get very, very awkward and difficult. And this isn't new. This is from the time of the Sahaba. This is not a joke, brothers and sisters. The issue of ahruf and qira'at caused confusion to somebody whom the Prophet ﷺ said, if you want to listen to the Quran directly, listen to Ubay. Ubay is not some even average Sahabi. He is the Qari of the Quran. He is the master. He is who he is. And he goes, فَدَخَلْ فِي نَفْسِي شَكْ. What is all of this stuff? Again, this is you are asking some very honest questions. It's the first time I'm saying these things. Many people are aware who listen to my lectures that I've mentioned the crises that happened to me at Yale. This was the issue. That the issue of ahruf and preservation and qira'at and relationships between them, these are very, very difficult issues. And the most advanced of our scholars, they're not quite fully certain how to solve all of the unanswered questions in there. Here's the point. These issues should only be discussed amongst people who know what the qira'at are and who understand some of these questions that are being raised.
So is what you're saying the shak that came, or not the shak, but the crisis that you had was in relation to this question of the relationship between the ahruf and the qira'at, basically?
No. The crisis I had wasn't that. The crisis I had was, well, yeah, wait, that was what generated. But what was the crisis? The crisis was very simple. Traditional understandings of ahruf and qira'at cannot answer some of these pressing questions that are now being poked by our people outside of, by our academics, by their academics outside of the faith tradition. You see, in a Muslim environment, there's always some respect that we have for the Quran. We should. In a Muslim environment, we'll press a little bit and then we'll say, okay, khalas, sami'na wa ata'na. And that's great, alhamdulillah. When you go to academia, they don't have that red line. And they're gonna just, the famous story of the emperor with no clothes. They're going to just point out, no, that doesn't make any sense. Well, that's not true, and this and that. And they'll bring issues, which I'm not going to mention explicitly, that you know are true because they're in your own books. They're not inventing anything new. They'll bring you riwayat, and they'll bring you athar, and then you add to that very well-known issues of, I don't even want to be explicit. And then you bring on top of that makhtutat, and then. And it's very clear to you and to every single very advanced student and specialist that the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say. The standard narrative does not answer some very pressing questions. These are now well known within the Western Academy, that they're bringing forth issues. Their level of now knowledge is leaps and bounds above what it used to be, 100 years ago. What is happening in the last few years is not me anymore. It's the Western academics. These problems are now becoming mainstream. And by and large, our ulama in the Eastern world are not aware, by and large, of what's going on in the Western side. And they're not answering, those questions in a manner that it needs to be answered.
So, anyway, can have some more pretzels. I don't think I can eat any more pretzels tonight. Don't eat any more, you either. Don't let them twist you into pretzels to try to make sense of this stuff. I know it's difficult to hear this, but you got to know the truth. These are not the same words. These are not the same words. And when they told us this, these are not the same words. All right. God bless you. And Majdi, I wish you wouldn't talk like that. I love you guys. The reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to know the truth. They told us there's one Quran. There's many Qurans. What do you do with that? And Majdi asked, did I watch the video? Yes, I watched the video. And the video it's like he's saying all the stuff that I'm telling you. He's saying all the stuff I'm telling you, but he's saying that it's okay. Naghfir and yaghfir, they mean the same. They complement each other. Well, okay. That's fine. Okay, let's say that's right. But then what about the fact that we were told there's only one Quran? What about the fact that we were told there's one Quran? Not a single word, letter, of the alphabet, a single punctuation mark or diacritical mark of the text has changed in the last 1400 years. What about that? All right. God bless you.